Man hits cashier when told he could only buy 2 packets of oil. Car wash workers reminded for allegedly sodomizing schoolgirl. Good evening, I'm Jessica Lee. Welcome to News on 2. Now, police are on the hunt for a man who hit a cashier after he was told that he could not buy 3 packets of cooking oil as the limit was 2 packets per customer. Now, the incident took place at 8:40 a.m. yesterday at a mini market in Bayan Lepas and was caught on CCTV. Balik Pulau OCPD Superintendent A. Anbalagan said police had identified the suspect who hit the 29-year-old cashier. He said the suspect came to the store to buy 3 packets of cooking oil, but the cashier said customers were limited to 2 packets each. He added that the man went into a rage and hit the victim's back before leaving the store with a threat to the cashier's safety. As a result of the incident, Superintendent Anbalagan said the victim has back pain and fears over the threat from the suspect. The case is being investigated under Section 506323 of the Penal Code for criminal intimidation. Police have arrested 2 workers of a car wash in Labuan for allegedly sodomizing a 10-year-old schoolgirl in Kampung Gersik on Monday. Labuan Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Farid Ahmad today said the girl's grandfather lodged a report at 3 a.m. yesterday after the victim related to him the incident, which took place between 6 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. on Monday. Superintendent Muhammad Farid said the grandfather took the girl to the hospital at 2 a.m. yesterday and a rectal examination showed signs of sodomy. He added that the 2 men were arrested at 10 a.m. yesterday after they initially denied having committed the offence. He said the suspects were brought to court today and remanded for 7 days pending investigation.
Kejadian tu antara pukul 6 petang sehingga 10 malam. Kejadian 7 hari bulan, mangsa dan suspek tempatan bekerja sebagai cuci kereta.
The penalty for committing carnal intercourse against the order of nature without consent is a jail term of between 5 and 20 years with whipping. Former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak, who is facing charges for corruption and money laundering involving the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB funds, has filed 2 applications to recuse former Federal Court Judge Datuk Seri Gopal Sri Ram from leading the prosecution team in his case. Now, one of the applications was filed at the Appellate and Special Powers Division of the High Court seeking a judicial review on Datuk Seri Gopal's appointment, and the other at the Criminal High Court seeking to quash Datuk Seri Gopal's appointment as Senior Deputy Public Prosecutor. Datuk Seri Najib's lawyer, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, informed High Court Judge Colin Lawrence Sequeira today that the defence had filed a complementary application for a judicial review to support the application to disqualify Datuk Seri Gopal's appointment. He said the application for the judicial review would be heard at the Appellate and Special Powers Division of the High Court before Judge Datuk Aziza Nawawi tomorrow. Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi said the suitable date to hear the application will be after all preparations and process in replying to the documents are completed. Following which, Judge Sequeira set 31st of January for further case management and 8th of February to hear the defence application to recuse Datuk Seri Gopal from heading the prosecution team. Today's hearing of the prosecution's application to transfer the case involving former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak's wife, Datuk Seri Rosmah Mansor, who faces 2 counts of bribery in connection with the implementation of the Solar Hybrid System project for rural schools in Sarawak, to the High Court, has been postponed to another date. Judge Colin Lawrence Sequeira postponed the hearing after being informed by the defence that they had only received the documents on the application from the prosecution this morning. Lawyer Datuk Akberdin Abdul Qadir, representing Datin Sri Rosma, said the defence needs more time to study the documents and requested for a new hearing date. He also raised concern on the prosecution's application to merge the case for a joint trial with two other cases involving Datin Sri Rosma, which were for money laundering and tax evasion, as the cases involved different transactions. Deputy Public Prosecutor Ahmad Akram Garib, who prosecuted, however, objected to it, saying that the defence did not need a long time to study the documents and could object the application for all cases to be heard jointly. Judge Colin then set 24th of January for mention to obtain feedback from the defence on whether they would object the application. On the 15th of November last year, Datin Sri Rosma pleaded not guilty in the Sessions Court to 2 counts of receiving bribes totaling 1.5 million ringgit in the implementation of the project to supply and install solar energy at 369 rural schools in Sarawak 2 years ago. Now, the case of former special officer to the former Prime Minister, Datuk Rizal Mansor, who faces 4 corruption charges involving a solar hybrid system project for rural schools in Sarawak, will be heard in the Kuala Lumpur High Court. Now, this followed a decision by High Court Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan in allowing Datuk Rizal's application made through his lawyer, Rida Abdal Subri, for the case to be transferred to the High Court from the Sessions Courts. However, no date has been fixed for the case to be mentioned at the High Court. The case has been fixed for mention at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court before Judge Rosina Ayub tomorrow for updates on the case development. Rida Abda submitted the application in accordance with Section 417, subsection 1E of the Criminal Procedure Code, and Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) Deputy Public Prosecutor Ahmad Akram Garib, who prosecuted, did not object to it. The charges were made under Section 16A of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commissions Act 2009. The offences are punishable under Section 24 of the same Act, which provides for a jail term of up to 20 years and a fine not less than 5 times the amount or value of the bribe, or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher. Former Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, who is facing 46 charges for criminal breach of trust or CBT, money laundering and corruption, today withdrew his application for the return of his passport, which was being held by the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court to enable him to perform the Umrah this 17th of January. Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid's lawyer, Kitson Fong, withdrew the application, which was filed yesterday, after being told by Judge Rosina Ayub that the prosecution would need time to reply to it and also for Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid to obtain the visa. The court then adjourned the case and all parties went into the judge's chambers. Fong, when met by reporters later, said the UMNO president was scheduled to perform the Umrah this 17th of January, but due to time constraint, his client had to postpone it. Fong said he would be filing a new application for the return of the passport. At today's proceeding, the prosecution was conducted by Deputy Public Prosecutors Datuk Raja Rosella Rajatoran and Lee Keng Fat. Now, the case involving former Research Division Director General in the Prime Minister's Department, JPM, Datuk Hassana Abdul Hamid, who is charged with criminal breach of trust, CBT, involving $12.1 million belonging to the Malaysian government, will be heard at the Sessions Court. Now, this came after Deputy Public Prosecutor Muhammad Iskandar Ahmad, who prosecuted, informed High Court Judge Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali that the prosecution was withdrawing its application to transfer the case to the High Court following instruction from the Attorney General's chambers. Following which, Muhammad Nazlan dismissed the prosecution's application. Earlier, he informed the court that last 4th of January, he received a voice message sent through WhatsApp from Datuk Hassana's lawyer, Datuk Shahruddin Ali, requesting the prosecution to withdraw the application to transfer the case to the High Court. He also said that on the 29th of November last year, the defence informed the court that they would file a notice of motion to transfer the case to the High Court. On the 25th of October last year, Datuk Hassana, 61, pleaded not guilty to the charge. The Sessions Court set 21st of February to mention the case. Now, former chairman of a government agency with the title Datuk is in remand for 4 days beginning today for alleged power abuse involving a government contract worth more than 99 million ringgit. Now, a woman who is a chief executive officer of a private company is also in remand for the same case. The remand order against the two individuals was issued by Magistrate Irza Zulaika Rohanuddin. The 64-year-old man was arrested by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) at about 5:50 p.m. yesterday, while the woman, aged 32, about half an hour earlier when they went to the MACC headquarters here to give their statement. According to a MACC source, the former chairman was believed to have abused his position by recommending a company through direct appointment to carry out a digital promotion campaign project totaling more than 99 million ringgit using the agency's funds. A son of a government department head in Pulau Pinang is in remand for 6 days from today for allegedly conspiring with his father to obtain a tender worth 45,472 ringgit for his company. The remand order against the 27-year-old man, who is also an executive of a government agency in Perak, was issued by Georgetown Sessions Magistrates Court Assistant Registrar Muna Maria Azmi following an application by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission or MACC. The remand order is to allow the suspect to be investigated under Section 23 of the MACC Act 2009. The suspect was arrested at 10 a.m. yesterday at his office in Perak. Yesterday, his father, aged 58, was ordered to be remanded for 6 days for allegedly abusing his position in recommending his son's company to be awarded the tender for a nursery class system project. He was said to have proposed the name of the company to the Quotation Evaluation Committee for the project. Meanwhile, in Kedah, a social welfare officer is under remand for 6 days to facilitate investigation into the misappropriation of funds worth 15,000 ringgit. The remand period begins today until 14th of January based on the permission of the Magistrate Court Assistant Registrar Balkis Abdul Halim. The 38-year-old man was arrested at the Department of Social Welfare at 3 p.m. yesterday. Initial investigations found that the suspect had misappropriated the fund, which was to be given to recipients between 2015 and 2017. Kedah MACC Director Datuk Muhammad Fauzi Muhammad, when contacted, confirmed the arrest but refused to elaborate. The case will be investigated under Section 18 of the MACC Act 2009. A businessman with the title Datuk Sri has been remanded for 2 days to facilitate police investigation for allegedly producing gold coins with the image of the Sultan of Pahang, Sultan Ahmad Shah, and the Pahang Regent Tengku Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah without permission. The remand order was issued by Magistrate Humaira K.M. Haider. The 30-year-old businessman, who is from Petaling Jaya, Selangor, was arrested at 7:15 p.m. yesterday following a report from Istana Abdul Aziz on the production and selling of the gold coins with the image of the two rulers on the 28th of December last year. Following his arrest, the police seized 2 gold coins with an image of the Pahang Sultan and the coat of arms of Pahang. Police are looking for his accomplice, who has the title Dato', to assist in investigations. A husband and wife, 2 children, and a skipper of a pump boat were arrested by the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, or MMEA, at Tawau, Sabah, for allegedly smuggling out 17 LPG barrels and 60 petrol barrels using illegal routes in the waters of Kinabalu yesterday. Now, the total seizure was estimated to be worth 16,700 ringgit. Maritime Tawau Zone Director, Maritime Captain Romli Mustafa said MMEA also seized the boat used for smuggling the items. He added upon inspection, all the controlled items were brought in without any legal documents obtained from the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs. The skipper and the 4 passengers, aged 2 to 32 years old, have a valid identification document. Captain Romli confirmed that they are suspected of committing the offence under the Immigration Act 1959-63 and the Control of Supplies Act 1961. Kedah Immigration Department arrested 11 illegal immigrants during an operation dubbed Ops Mega 3.0 held at 5 separate locations in the area of Tunjang near Jitra. Immigration Director Zuhair Jamaluddin said those detained comprise 4 male Bangladeshis, 2 Indonesian men and 2 Indonesian women, 2 Myanmarese men and 1 Myanmarese woman, all aged between 18 and 46 years old. The 11 illegal immigrants were arrested during an inspection on 5 houses in Taman Surya and the village area of location. The operation started at midnight and ended at 4 a.m. today. All those detained were then placed in the immigration lockup of the Home Affairs Ministry building in Alustar, Kedah for further investigation before they were sent to the Belantik Immigration Detention Depot in Sikh. A trader died in a fire at his house early this morning after he ran back into that burning house, apparently to retrieve some valuables. A Perak Fire and Rescue Department Deputy Director General of Operations, Muhammad Yunus Abu, said firefighters found the burnt body of Ui Hock Chuan, 63, in the living room of the house in Taman Pinji Mewah in Ipoh, Perak after they put out the fire. Muhammad Yunus said the station was alerted to the fire by a neighbour at 4:14 a.m. and rushed 17 firefighters in 3 trucks to the location. When the firefighters reached the spot, the fire had destroyed 80% of the double-storey house. It is believed that a neighbour claimed to have seen Ui running out of the house, but he had gone back in, apparently to retrieve some valuables. Firefighters prevented the fire from spreading to the adjacent houses and put out the blaze completely at 7:39 a.m. The cause of the fire had yet to be ascertained and the body had been handed over to the police. The quick action of 2 road passers-by saved a man from sure death when the car he was driving caught fire and skidded along Tun Dr. Lim Chong Eu Expressway in Georgetown, Pulau Pinang. The accident occurred at 3:20 a.m. today, heading towards Bayan Lepas. Fire and Rescue Department Senior Officer 2, Helmi Rizal Jemura, said the victim, who survived with burns on his body, was sent to Pulau Pinang Hospital for treatment. Elaborating further, he said the 2 civilians did everything they could, breaking the car window in order to extricate the man, suffering injuries themselves in the process. The victim's car was reportedly 90% destroyed by the flames.
Kebakaran kereta dipercayai jenis Myvi dan keadaan semasa api marak dan dipercayai kereta tersebut telah terbabas dan telah masuk ke dalam longkang.
In addition, Helmi said a distress call was received at 3:20 a.m. and firefighters arrived at the scene 5 minutes later. Firefighters managed to put out the flames in 25 minutes. Up next, Bukit Pukus landslide, no decisions until official report from DOSH.
Macam betul-betul. Sekarang My Freeview sudah ada di seluruh negara dengan siaran digital yang jelas.
Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng has accused the Sarawak government of making false claims and seeking to slander the federal government on the issue of the state's outstanding loans. In a statement today, Lim reiterated that the amount stipulated in his statement on the 6th of January was as of November 2018, whereby the balance of the debt stood at more than 2.5 billion ringgit and the outstanding loan repayment was almost 50 million ringgit. He said based on the federal government's records, as at 31st of December 2018, the balance of the state government's debt amounted to 2.43 billion ringgit, and there was still arrears of debt repayment of 46.5 million ringgit. On Monday, the Sarawak government issued a statement in reply to him, claiming that it has provided sufficient allocation in its annual budget repayment for federal loans, which amounted to 2.38 billion ringgit as at 31st of December 2018. It added that federal loans are paid in a timely manner based on repayment schedules as stipulated in the agreement between the state and federal governments. Lim, in his statement today, once again dismissed the state's accusation that the federal government has already distributed proceeds of the tourism tax to Sabah but not Sarawak. He further explained that the tourism tax that has been collected since September 2017 but was not paid by the previous government will be paid by the new government in the first quarter of 2019. The Pulau Pinang State Government has to wait for the report by the Department of Occupational Safety and Health, or DOSH, on the Bukit Kukus landslide before any decisions regarding the project can be made. Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow said the state had received 2 reports, one from the Pulau Pinang City Council, or MBPP, and the other from the Special State Committee investigating the Bukit Kukus landslide.
Kita memutuskan pihak kerajaan negeri, iaitu Setiausaha Kerajaan Negeri, akan berhubung dengan DOSH sebab perkara ini di bawah bidang kuasa DOSH yang telah mengenakan stop work order dan menjalankan siasatan. Jadi kita nak hubung DOSH untuk mendapat tahu perkembangan terkini, termasuk bilakah stop work order itu dapat ditarik balik.
Briefing reporters today, he said the state government hopes that the project can continue after recommendations by DOSH is made public. When asked if he could share some of the findings from the 2 reports he had received, Chow said DOSH was the authority on the matter, and as such, they would wait for the department's official report to be announced. 9 site workers were killed and 4 others injured in a landslide at the Bukit Kukus Paired Roads project site on the 19th of October last year. After 5 days, the search and rescue operation was officially called off, and the project is currently under stop work order by DOSH. Of News on 2, in our top story, car wash workers remanded for allegedly sodomizing a schoolgirl. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for watching.